Garden on another great episode. I'm Alex, we have Tommy, and we have Jordan. Guys, how you guys doing?
We are ready to talk about dudes in underwear.
Every day is a holiday.
I wasn't expecting either of those responses, but fair enough. That's okay. So on this episode, we're going to talk some NFL Combine, plenty of Bears content. We got Ryan Poles, we have Ben Johnson, maybe even some stadium rumors that are popping up here. And of course, we have spring training, plenty of Cubs Nuggets, Sammy Sosa returning to the dugout, plenty more. So stick with us. We have a great show for you today. So let's just get right into talking ball. Let's start with the Combine. The Combine started yesterday, and there was a lot of press around the Bears, obviously local and national, and we've heard a lot from Ben Johnson. And what I can say, especially with the report cards that came out today, if you guys saw it, I mean, just what a complete 180 we have done with the vibes with Ben Johnson. He is doing all these interviews with these personalities, and he's a personality himself. He is not like stiff as a board, dry, nervous looking. That is a man that's with confidence. He can relate to you, which I think is a great, quality to have as a head coach. And you just listen to him and talk, and you're like, man, that is a confident leader who knows what he's looking for. And a lot of what he and Ryan Poles had to say has to do with the roster construction going forward. We know that Ben Johnson is going to have a significant influence on this roster, and we saw them make a few cuts the other day with DeMarcus Walker and Gerald Everett, and they were talking about, we're evaluating the roster, we're looking at who sees fit. And I could say in years past where I wouldn't really trust, the head coach to have an input on who is a good fit. But I think with Ben Johnson, we could feel pretty confident. So first, what I ask you guys is, what stood out to you about the Combine so far, whether it be Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, or anything else? And what do you have to say about what's been said from these guys?
Sure.
I'll start with Ben Johnson. It wasn't weird. So if you're a Bears fan, that's a massive plus because the past 3 years, press conferences have been very weird. It's just like we're doing now. It's just a dude talking ball. I was listening to 670 The Score today, and they said really Johnson talks like a basketball coach, which if you're familiar with like press conferences of a basketball coach, specifically Billy Donovan, he gets into the meat and potatoes of a play, of a player, of roster construction. That seems to be what Ben Johnson is doing initially. I'm not sure if it's just one of those things that as a first-year head coach you do. As you get more experience, it takes away, but it's much appreciated. Ryan Poles was a nothing burger. Like, despite hiring Ben Johnson, he still is very much in a prove it mode with me.
Sure.
The funniest quote I did see from Ryan Poles yesterday was he's confident that he can find offensive linemen because he played the position. My easy retort to that would be, look at the last 3 seasons. You found one offensive lineman, and you arguably made a mistake with that selection by passing up on Jalen Carter. So, no, Ryan Poles, because you were cut by the Bears in your first season in the NFL, I don't have confidence in you finding offensive linemen. But I do have confidence in Ben Johnson. So,
well, yeah, I mean, you look at the track record with Ben Johnson and who he's had in Detroit and who he's worked with. And just to, piggyback on your point a little bit, there was a very interesting quote about him comparing Darnell Wright to Penei Sewell. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't think Darnell Wright is Penei Sewell. I think Penei Sewell is the best lineman in football. But I think Darnell Wright is very good. And I am confident that Ben Johnson is going to utilize him best as possible. Because you've seen, to your point, way too many whiffs on this offensive line. I mean, Ryan Bates, they traded for him. I think he could be a depth lineman, but he's certainly not a starting lineman. Obviously, the Davis move was a complete disaster, and I think we are going to lose Tevin Jenkins. Obviously, that was a Ryan Pace draft pick, but they are going to have to fill that gap. Tommy, what about you? What about Ben Johnson or Ryan Poles has stood out so far to you in this Combine?
Nothing for Ryan Poles. I'm with Jordan. Prove it. We've heard a lot of him saying words. We've heard a lot of other things. Like just do your job, dude. Give me an offensive line, give me a defensive line, protect the quarterback, go after the quarterback. As far as Ben Johnson, it's fun to hear him say words. Like, he's obviously not Matt Eberflus. Like, he's got a personality. He's talking to basically anybody that's like, hey, will you come on my show? He's saying, yeah, I don't care who you are. Like, I feel like we could be at the combine right now and ask Ben Johnson to come on our show, and he would say yes. Like, he's just talking to anybody and everybody that has a microphone. So, and he sounds great. Like, he's saying cool things and he's saying good things. Like, but we have nothing to base it on. He's never been a head coach before. So it's like, this is fun, having a great time, reading all the things, listening to all the things. Wake me up when September starts, because I don't really care until I see wins on the board.
I get it.
As far as the combine, like, it's a very important time. Like, I know that there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes and stuff. There could be some deals struck. I know there's some big names out there. I think the Bears would be foolish to at least not pick up a phone and have a conversation about some of this. I think we talked about that last week. But look, I said my demands. I was like, I want the biggest, fattest people in the draft. That's who I want them to draft. And like, that's really all I got, boys. I feel like I'm boring. I feel like I'm a broken record here, but last year was draining, and we beat the Packers to end it. And the win against the Packers was it'll carry me for a while, and just draft some fat people. I don't really care.
Listen, I hear you. I get it. I mean, I too am sitting here saying it doesn't matter until you actually get the wins. It's amazing what a different the vibe is, because if you guys saw, the NFL report cards came today. Shocking to no one, lowest grade was head coach, which would have been Matt Eberflus, not Thomas Brown, from last year. So the fact that we can look at the stark difference at least says, you know what? They're at least doing this differently. Whether or not they get the wins is remain to be seen, because Ryan Poles still has to build the roster. Like I said, there is going to be influence from Ben Johnson on this than there was previous head coaches, but they still need to get the wins. Now, when I look at the combine, Tommy, you were mentioning deals can happen behind the scenes, and that's happened before. I think it was Greg Gabriel shared a story about Mushin Muhammad, who came in before the 05 season after the Panthers cut him during the combine. Really, to me, what the combine says is this is your time where you start to formulate your mock drafts. Because frankly, I don't like doing mock drafts before the combine, because the combine is where stocks rise a bit, stocks falls a bit, and then following the combine is going to be free agency. And as I mentioned before, there were a few cuts, both Gerald Everett and DeMarcus Walker. You have more cap space than you had before, and you guys saw how much the cap went up by. It's significant.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we did not get that I wanted, and I'm curious to hear your reactions here, is no offense, Ian Cunningham, I wanted you out of here and in Jacksonville, because boy, 2 comp picks in the 3rd round, that's not nothing. I would have taken those picks. He didn't get hired, so he is still here in Chicago. No disrespect to him, but I just really wanted those comp picks, so that's too bad. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
No, I very much wanted those picks, because I've heard a little bit on the combine today. I heard Schefter talking a little bit today, and he was talking about how much value is in those middle round, like 3rd, 4th, 5th round. So having an extra 3rd rounder wouldn't have hurt my feelings. But I mean, Ian Cunningham, also a good guy. And he's been with the Bears for forever, so obviously he's doing something right. But I don't know.
Would you guys like to know Ryan Poles' history of 3rd round draft picks?
That's a great counterpoint. One less thing to screw up.
Velus Jones Jr. Is he with the team?
Well,
no.
He's a free agent, isn't he? Could be.
Okay. He fouled it up with Zach Pickens, who was a healthy scratch more times last season than he was actually healthy. And then
I got nothing.
His grand finale was Kieran Megadigi. So
Can I just?
Hey, it looks great on the back of a jersey.
Oh, wait. First of all, I'm not calling him a bust. I'm not calling him a bust. I will say drafting a project left tackle in the 3rd round when your roster was as defunct as it was.
Do we
Probably
have
was
some
his.
of the third round picks that he passed on that have done well?
I mean,
Tommy.
there probably are
I mean,
some out there.
I'm sure there are, but I would like to know.
Okay, I'll
Well,
come back next episode.
yeah. To
Hey,
your
you
point
can
with
only
Kieran
you
Amagaji,
can only
that
screw
was a risky pick.
you can only screw up a pick
Yeah.
if you have a pick, and we don't have a pick. So
I mean, in the theory of taking Flyers, yeah, I would have liked to have those picks, especially with Ben Johnson's added input. But I also do think Ian Cunningham is an important check for Ryan Poles. If you think back to the draft last year, Ryan Poles wanted to actually trade up for Roma Dunze, and it was Ian Cunningham who convinced him not to. I'm not saying that there's not another no man in the Bears front office to tell Ryan Poles no. It just seems that Ian Cunningham is the best at that role right now. But so yeah, it sucks we didn't get extra picks, but I'm also not like overly mad about it.
Yeah,
fair.
I mean that's fair. And all I was going to say about Kieran Amagaji is that yeah, I mean, for that spot where they were, it is really tough drafting a project. I do think that there is still a chance that he could be developed into something. I mean, you remember last year? Yeah. I mean, remember last year when they played the Vikings? He was thrown to the wolves. He was not ready to take on.
Oh yeah,
challenge.
no,
You know.
yeah, his struggles on the field last season weren't anything due to his own fault. He should not have been in that position. Like
Right.
he should not have been the Bears starting left tackle making his NFL debut on the road in one of the toughest stadiums in the league. Shout out Ryan Poles. So
Yeah. So they're going to need to revamp that whole thing. And I guess another question I have for you guys is going into free agency. You heard Ryan Poles say the words aggressive. Now, take that as you will, like you kind of alluded to. It's probably a nothing burger. You're thinking you're probably going to say that because you're not going to show your cards, and with all the cap space, you want to keep your options open, right? Like you're not going to go out there and say, "Well, we're not going to try very hard with all this cap space." Even if you only sign X number of players with X amount of dollars spent, you are going to do your due diligence here. So I guess my question for you guys is, do you envision them making a big splash in free agency?
there's a caveat on it. If somehow the Chiefs do let Trey Smith get to free agency without a new deal, then if you're Ryan Poles, you go full on Julius Peppers mode. Like you're at his door at midnight, blank check, get him in that Hollis Hall. Outside of Trey Smith, which I think he does wind back up with the Chiefs. I just don't see how the Chiefs let him go. Outside of Trey Smith, I don't really think there's like a blockbuster signing the Bears can make.
Right.
I think there's good signings. Like if you bring in Drew Dahlman to be your center, I would be very happy about that.
Sure.
But I wouldn't characterize it as like a blockbuster home run signing.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm worried. I have a worry already that I mean, I think you guys will understand. I think you guys are with me, but
oh yeah.
Here
Of
we
course.
are, just hired another head coach, and the head coach is looking great. Like he's saying all the right things, doing all the right things. Awesome. Fantastic. This draft and offseason are like just stupidly important for Ryan Poles. Because if he's wrong
very
again,
much so, yeah.
and this is like it's not good again, now we're talking the GM gets fired. New GM comes in. And here we go again, So I don't know. Draft the big fat guys and I'll see you in September.
Boy, I could see the deadness in Tommy's face when he talks about it. And I get it. I'm with you.
But yeah, I can't fault him because that's exactly the position the Bears have put us in. And yeah.
I very much hope to see Ben Johnson at Wrigley this summer. I think that'll be fun. I love that his brother is a season ticket holder. I I think he's going to be great for Chicago. I think I feel like a little part of him when he started his coaching journey. I feel like a little part of him was always like wanting to come to Chicago. And now he's the head coach of the Bears and
Yes.
doesn't get much bigger than that in coaching. So for the Bears, like, there's better.
Yeah, for sure.
But so look, I don't want to say I'm excited to see what he does. I would like to see what he does.
It's one of those. It's honestly one of those things where like you're not going to get credit for doing the right thing. So far, the Bears have done all the right things, and I'm not going to give you credit for doing that because
we did it. We sang their praises last year for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
No.
I did.
Well,
I did.
Yeah.
I was very anti-Eberflus.
Same. Yeah, they shouldn't
I
have.
I feel like this is a complete flip from last year.
I know, isn't it crazy? I
It
was
really is.
insane.
because I wasn't ready to do it.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready to do it.
Yeah, this past year broke me, man. Like I just
Guys, I'm a sicko. You want to know what I did this weekend? Actually, I went back. No, you guys are going to think I'm like call for help. I went back and I rewatched the first episode of Hard Knocks.
That's a terrible idea.
I know.
Look, and
I know.
I will say this over and over again. Shout out to the Giants. Because if they didn't screw it up so bad at the draft one, we would have to be facing so many demons.
I know.
So thank you to them.
Yeah, and like the amount of courage I had rewatching it, I was like, oh wow, I really was buying into this for no reason at all because he had bees at his house.
Oh, he had bees at his house, and they played that. Was it the outro of the first episode when they played that Back to Chicago? When they played the Back to Chicago song, I'm like, oh my God, we're winning the Super Bowl.
I know.
So,
I know.
yeah, I'm not.
And then the haircut and the beard and everything. And I remember like, oh, look at his vibes. And I'm thinking, he's still Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for this. Ben Johnson seems like a great guy. Wake me up when September starts. Maybe I should make a song. I should do a song.
Actually, we should do, that could be our niche. We just
wake me up.
I do actually
You have to use that.
I'm not even sure if it's bold, but I have one Bears move that I think is going to happen this offseason. I think the Bears are going to trade Tyson Bagent for a late round pick. Bagent's in his walk year, and I think rather than let him leave via free agency, I think the Bears try and get something for him, and then you kind of just repeat the cycle like you did with Bagent. You find someone that you can develop. Like to the Bears credit, like to the last coaching staff's credit, like one of the few things they did right. I'm not saying he's good, but they got him to a 500 record as a starting quarterback. And in the NFL, where you have no name starting each and every week, there would be a team that would.
I disagree with this completely. I say pay him to be the backup quarterback because he's a great backup quarterback. Like I don't want to come in. Like I don't want to have some kid come in and be Caleb Williams' backup.
But here's the thing where we have to get used to being success. What did New England do? What did Green Bay do? If you have the quarterback, you develop them, you get them out.
We're in year 2.
But I'm just saying, like if Caleb Williams is your guy, and why? Well, let me ask you this: is there any chance Tyson Bagent could be your starting quarterback
if Caleb goes down?
If Caleb isn't the answer, is Tyson Bagent your starting quarterback?
No, absolutely not. But I think he knows that.
Trade him.
What?
I have a hybrid opinion.
Was Chase Daniels ever going to be our starting quarterback? No, he was our backup quarterback. Like he got paid a bunch of money to be the backup quarterback because we knew we had him in the pocket ready to go.
And and you could find a Chase Daniel. Like Chase Daniel went from team to team to team. Like Chase Daniel didn't stay on one team his whole career.
You're correct. He didn't, and every team should have kept him as the backup quarterback.
Nah, because they found another backup quarterback.
You want to trust Ryan Poles as a late round draft pick? over having Tyson
Walker takes
Bagent?
him.
Well,
He
Caleb
was
Williams.
undrafted.
But Caleb Williams, week 2, does something to his leg. He's out 4 to 5 weeks. Tyson Bagent can
Guess
get us
what?
2 to 3 wins and keep us in the
Guess what?
thing.
There's run-of-the-mill starting quarterbacks out on the market. Get your draft compensation.
I don't mind the idea. If you do trade him, bring in a legit veteran behind Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
If you do Caleb
Fair enough.
Williams
If you're gonna do
you
that,
have another veteran with Ben Johnson.
if you're gonna
You
do
make
that,
that
then
QB
you
room
have.
Yeah,
a
wait,
little
wait,
more
wait, yeah.
advanced.
Yeah, wait. I guess I wasn't. Yeah, like
Oh, that's your plan?
I'm not just. Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
just bringing
okay.
in.
All right,
like,
never
yeah,
mind.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. No, yeah. Wait.
I
yeah,
thought
Let me clarify.
no, yeah, I thought you
yeah,
were saying
yeah,
let's
yeah,
just draft a guy in the 5th
Oh,
or
yeah,
6th
no,
or
no,
7th
no.
round and take his
No, yeah.
spot. I'm like, no.
Wait. Let me clarify. I'm trading Bagent. I'm signing
Okay.
a stopgap veteran.
All right.
I'm still drafting a quarterback in the late rounds. as,
Sure,
like,
but the
that QB3.
veteran is still the backup.
The veteran would be the
You
backup.
have
Yeah,
my
bad. I
you
didn't-
have
yeah,
my blessing. By all means.
My bad. I didn't make. Yeah, I didn't
That's
make
what
that
I
point
wanted.
clear.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I
You
didn't
have
make
my
that point
blessing.
clear. No, yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
I'm
No,
gonna
yeah.
pull up some NFL free agent QBs because I legitimately want to
Aaron
know.
Rodgers, backup quarterback.
I hope
no.
to God that man never
I'm just
steps on another football field
saying.
again because I can't do it.
I just
He's a
want-
circus.
I want. As much as I love Pat McAfee, I would love a football season free Aaron Rodgers. Like I'm so ready for it.
Yeah. Whatever team he goes, if he does go to a team, whatever team, I'm immediately betting no playoffs for that team. Immediately.
Oh, instantly, yeah.
Immediately.
I'm looking at. Okay, so tell me this. Let's say you brought in as a backup. Would you bring in a Carson Wentz?
Sure.
Yes,
Would you bring in a Jimmy G?
Sure.
yes.
Jimmy G plays fantastic in Chicago.
Yeah, Jimmy G. Yeah, Jimmy G. I think with a Ben Johnson offense, I think Jimmy G would be fine.
Come on. Yeah.
Because, like, okay, Sam Darnold, he's gonna get a bag. He's gonna try
Oh,
to
yeah.
get a
He's gonna
starting
get
job
paid.
after
Yeah,
the year
he's
he
gonna
had.
get. Yeah, he
Zach
lost
Wilson,
himself
yeah.
money, but
No, he did, but he's still gonna
Zach
get paid.
Wilson is a
Zach
no
Wilson,
for me.
no.
I
No.
would take
That's a
Tyson
big
Zach
Bagent
Wilson's a
over
no.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
would
let's-
keep Bagent over Wilson.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Let's just do this exercise. I'm gonna go down the list. We each give a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the Bears. That sound good?
That's great. Follow us on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we did Sam Darnold, Sam Wilson, and if there's a circumstance like a Sam Darnold where you're like, it's not that I don't want him, it's just the circumstance isn't right, we'll clarify that. But okay,
Sounds good. Yeah.
Trey Lance, thumbs down for me.
So this is between Trey Lance or Tyson Bagent. Is that basically what the exercise is?
Yeah, like if the
Okay.
exercise is, would you sign this veteran to be your backup quarterback?
Gotcha. Okay.
Trey Lance, no.
I go up.
Really?
I'm in the middle. I guess I got to pick one because you both went one way or the other.
Yeah, I know you're the decisive vote.
I'm gonna say I trust Tyson Bagent more than Trey Lance.
That's fair. I was a
Familiarity.
big Trey Lance guy in the draft. Yeah, no, yeah. I was a big Trey Lance guy in the draft. I still think he's got something there. So that's why-
Probably.
that's the only reason. Yeah, that's the only reason that backs my my
Okay.
thumbs up. for
That's
that.
fine.
Jacoby Brissett.
Down.
Jacoby, easy. I just love Jacoby. Like I just love the name. Like, yeah.
You want to get rid of? I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump the gun here. I just thought of a name. You want to get rid of Tyson Bagent? Fine. Throw a bag at Jameis Winston. I want Jameis
Okay.
Winston. Come
Two
on.
thumbs up on that one. Two thumbs
Can
up
you
on that one.
imagine?
That
Like
would be
we
fun.
need.
Yeah.
Imagine we need Jameis for like. Oh, hang on. Imagine if we need Jameis for like 3 weeks. That will be the 3 most electric games of Chicago Bears football we have seen in decades.
Talking
I
5
I just-
touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
No,
I
10 and
just think
10.
It'd be kind of a circus.
Oh yeah, it would be fun though.
It would be
fun.
so much fun.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
fun.
Jacoby Brissett is strictly the name. On the field, I would probably say no. I
Yeah,
just
I'll
love
take
Jacoby.
Tyson Bagent over Jacoby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tyler Heineke.
Ooh, he's got some swag, but I'll take. Ooh.
Yeah, I'll go thumbs down on Tyler Heineke.
Yeah, I'll
It's
take.
close.
Yeah, I'll
go
take
thumbs
Tyson.
down.
I'll
yeah.
do middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
no,
take. It's close. It's close. I'll
Yeah.
just keep Tyson for that.
Here's a
Yeah,
name I
it's-
actually
it's-
kind of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was supposed to say it's close, but I think Ty goes to the incumbent.
Okay, fair enough. Here's a name I actually kind of like. I don't know about you guys, but thumbs up for me, Marcus Mariota.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I
For a
mean, he's
backup.
like a
Mhm.
career backup guy now at this point. So
Yeah, thumbs up.
I think he would do very well in a Ben Johnson system.
Sure.
Same.
I forgot he was still playing. I like him personally, but I just don't know if there's value there. Drew
really good.
Lock.
No,
Oh man,
hard pass.
Yeah.
no, but
Be fun.
you want to talk
No.
about sideline swagger
When you see me off in traffic, they say
yeah, I know, but absolutely not. But absolutely not. But fun sideline. I will give him his sideline swagger, but no.
Yeah, don't do that.
And,
Yeah.
and keep this in mind too, is one thing to keep in mind for this exercise is when we compare X to Tyson Bagent, keep in mind the salary too. It's like you realize what you'd be paying for this versus what you're getting from Tyson Bagent for that price.
But the Bears have unlimited money.
they
Yeah,
do, but
we just
value
created
is value.
$10.75 million, Alex.
Yeah,
we got money.
value's value.
That's fair. That was a fun exercise.
There's a
that was
few
good.
more.
Oh.
A few more.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few more. I'm gonna skip this one. Jarrett Stidham. I'm not
Nah,
yeah. That's
not fan.
automatic. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
next on the list.
Oh boy. He's
Justin
about to drop it.
Fields.
I knew he was going to drop it. No, absolutely not.
No.
We barely got out of the last Caleb Williams first Justin Fields war. We don't need a
Now,
need a sequel.
if Justin Fields does come back, does Jalen Johnson have to give him number 1 back?
No,
No.
it's Jalen's team. It's Jalen's team.
No, I as a matter of fact, I would like Justin Fields to be, well, no, he's not really going to be anywhere in the. If he went to Green Bay, that'd be kind of funny.
That would be,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
that would be funny. I don't think he's a starter, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I don't. No.
Yeah, no.
That was yeah.
So here's one that's interesting. He's old. It's a roller coaster. Joe Flacco.
Hell yeah, give me Flacco.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a yes
what
on
he
Joe
did,
Flacco.
what he did in Indy, like when he first got like the starting role at Indy, like that was electric. I mean,
Yeah.
it tapered
Yeah.
off a lot, but ideally, Indy was in a position where they were like, maybe we do hand the keys off to Joe Flacco. There is no
Yeah.
circumstance whatsoever that Joe Flacco would be given the starting quarterback job of the Chicago Bears. So
No.
as a backup, hell yeah, give me Joe Flacco.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I would say yeah.
So I'll just go through a few more quickly here. Mac Jones, probably not.
No.
That's a no for me.
1000% no.
No.
I don't remember the last time he played, but this was a backup QB I liked a while ago, Case Keenum. He's actually a guy I would have liked back in like the Nagy era, but I mean at this point he's 37 years old, so we'll say no there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
Nope. He can keep doing his progressive commercials or whatever.
I guess
Yeah.
you progress. Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm no on Case Keenum.
Mason Rudolph.
That'd be so
Be cheaper.
so funny, but absolutely not.
Yeah, no, yeah, big time no on that one.
So then at this point we're just getting into like, the last maybe notable name. I mean, that's not Russell Wilson, obviously. I mean, you have Cooper Rush.
No. Yeah, at this point,
no.
hard pass on anybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think we got through. Yeah, we got through the heavy names for sure. But
Yeah,
that
because
was
I mean,
fun.
yeah.
Jameis,
Tyler Huntley, Brent
you
Rippon,
give me-
Kyle Allen, Josh Johnson, Nick Mullins.
if
yeah.
you give me Jameis Winston, I will give a team Tyson Bagent. You can just have him. No draft pick compensation, nothing. Just have him. I want Jameis.
Jameis would be fun. Jameis would make watching preseason fun.
Can you?
I will
oh
say
my
that.
God. Then we would have done Hard Knocks in the wrong year.
Oh
They
my
already
God. There's
did
no
Hard
way.
Knocks in the wrong year.
Well,
Yeah, Jameis would have had.
yeah, but if we had,
would have censored the hell out of Jameis.
no, they would love
Would have cut him
Jameis.
out completely.
No way, they would love Jameis.
They would.
He
but
doesn't.
You also gotta.
He doesn't like.
Does he swear?
No, he's like super clean
Actually,
now.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah, they would
Oh,
love
now.
him.
I mean, it was the whole. Yeah.
Oh
It would be
man,
fun.
They probably would. They probably would.
Yeah. It would be
I
fun.
mean, just think of. Do you remember the Thursday night game against the Steelers? Like his pregame, like
Oh
they
my
asked
God,
him.
that was so great.
We would get
I'm
that
so happy to
every
play this
single
stuff.
week.
Yeah.
They would
That'd be
interview
great.
the backup quarterback every single week. That'd be so
Yeah,
much fun.
That would be. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm 100% in on.
Give me
Jameis. It
Jameis.
would never happen. But yeah, I'm
No.
100%.
I was
in.
gonna say that the fit just doesn't seem right. It's not personal
Yeah.
against him on my end. It just but
Yeah.
the last thing I have football wise I want to talk about, there is a rumor going around that there is a finalized plan for the new stadium, that it is going to be in Arlington Heights. It is going to be
What?
a dome, and it's
What?
going to be not that big.
Oh. Well, that sounds like something the Bears would do.
Yeah, sounds like they screwed it up. Shocking.
Yeah. I mean.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
50,000.
I mean,
No, big.
yeah.
Not. I should. When I say not that big, as in not that much bigger than Soldier Field capacity wise. So maybe like 80,000 seats.
They're dumb. They're dumb. They should have
Yeah.
done the right thing. Oh, I said this last week. R.I.P. Virginia. God bless her soul. George should have done the right
R.I.P.
thing.
Oh, man.
Sell the team, blank slate in Arlington Heights, sell the land with the team, let somebody who knows what they're doing in there to do it.
Yeah.
But they're building in Arlington Heights.
I'm pissed about that
Supposedly.
too. There was no way that they were going to
Again,
do it in
yeah.
the city. I want the Bears in the city. I don't want a dome. I want open air. I just like whatever.
I
like
want Arlington Heights in a dome.
I don't want
Yeah.
I don't
no,
want
Yeah.
dome. I don't
I
want
want-
artificial turf. I don't
I
want dome.
Clean football.
I don't want not in Chicago. Like this is all the things I don't want to do. Like so whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess
I'm
we
not-
have interesting rivalry.
Yeah, I'm not a romanticist like that. I know a lot of people like, oh, Bears have to be in the city so we could see the skyline B tape. Yeah, I could care less.
I mean,
to
they're
be
still
honest
gonna
with you.
show it. They're still
Yeah,
gonna
that's what
show
I'm saying. I could,
like so
yeah, I could-
NASCAR has a perfectly useful racetrack in Joliet, by the way.
Yes.
And
do.
every time that they did a race there, I mean, they showed the Chicago skyline. You can see the skyline
Yeah.
from the air from Joliet. Like you can see the skyline from Arlington Heights. You're gonna get all your
yeah,
fancy shots. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I understand that the majority of Chicago Bears season ticket holders and the majority of the fans that come from the suburbs come from the north side of Chicago. I understand
Boom.
that. I would love for the Bears to find a way to have a perfectly useful multi-purpose stadium on the lakefront, but there is just no way to do it. There's not enough parking. There's not enough room. There is no way to do it, and I understand that. So they're going to Arlington Heights. They've always been going to Arlington Heights. God bless, whatever. I don't like it, and my rationality here is dumb and stupid, but
Mm-hmm.
going to Arlington Heights is
Alex with the confirmation.
going to Arlington Heights is the right thing to do because they can build a big ass stadium and they can do all these multi-purpose things, and doing it enclosed
And a
is the
village around it.
and doing it enclosed is the right thing to do so they can have concerts and Final Fours and big hockey
Mhm.
games and all this stuff.
And
It,
WrestleMania.
and WrestleMania. It
Mhm.
makes all the sense in the world, and I
Mhm.
completely understand it. But I can,
Mhm.
as a tax-paying citizen, be pissed about it. So
Yeah, that's fair. I got nothing. Yeah, again, I'm not gonna give them credit for doing the right thing. I mean, I think.
they're not doing the
Like,
right thing. They're
if-
gonna build a stupid stadium that.
Well, I mean, logistically, you can't do it on the lakefront. So, like,
No,
for the
it's
situation
awful.
we're
I
in-
know, but they're
awful.
going to
For the-
screw it up in Arlington Heights. They're going. If the McCaskies are still in charge, I'm telling you, I don't care if it's Kevin Warren telling them what to do. They're going to screw it up.
I will
wouldn't
have
be
a quick
surprised.
counter to that. Kevin Warren did a great job in Minneapolis. If you know anything
Yeah.
about that Vikings stadium, that is a Class A facility.
That's fantastic. George McCaskey was not in his ear in Minnesota. The aura and whatever stupidity that lingers around the McCaskies was not around him when he built the Minnesota stadium. I'm telling you,
You know who
it's
got
a curse. It's something that something stupid is going to happen. They're going to screw this up.
I will push back on that because one thing that actually the Bears have been getting praised at under Kevin Warren's watch is how much the organization has changed for the better. Not necessarily the football side of things, but we're talking how staff are treated, how the media is treated, the different food options at Soldier Field. So I'm not going to just say George is going to ruin it and Kevin Warren won't have an influence. I think, if anything, this offseason proves that Kevin Warren is the predominant voice at Hallis Hall. George isn't in control.
God
Because
bless.
if George was in control, the Bears wouldn't have paid Ben Johnson the amount of money to pay.
And I hope I'm super wrong and everything is rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, and
But I've
here's
been
the thing,
around
too,
this team and watching this team for 3 decades now, and
I get it.
and I
That's
get
like-
that
I
there
get it,
and I
totally.
get there's different people there, and Kevin Warren is a great human and is doing smart things, and we've seen a few changes in the past calendar year. Just draft some fat people, and I'll see you in September.
That's what
Yeah,
it comes
yeah.
up. Tommy just wants his fat people in the building.
I
Yeah,
do.
I mean,
So
yeah,
fat.
I get it. I get it. I do. I think where my optimism with the stadium comes in is they hired Kevin Warren to do that job. You know, they didn't hire him as a collaborator. They hired him to get that job done. I think that Kevin Warren is the main driving force behind this. We'll see how it happens because what's interesting is we hear these leaked rumors about the stadium announcement, and we heard Kevin Warren recently say our goal is to get shovels in the ground this year. So if he's saying that publicly, you feel like there has to be merit to these rumors, right?
I think so.
I'm sure the deal is done. We just haven't heard it yet.
Also,
Right, I
yeah,
think
because
we'll hear it soon. Yeah.
a key component is the Bears raised the season ticket packages at Soldier Field.
Uh,
In his press release, one of the things he did mention that the money would kind of be funneled back into. I know whenever we're talking about Cub or owners, we're always talking about money being funneled back into an organization. But
Oh,
anyways,
don't even get me
we're
started.
not. No, that's it.
This is gonna be a 3-hour episode,
know.
boys.
I know.
Because
One of the things Kevin Warren mentioned in the press release was a stadium. I don't think you include that in the press release if you're not confident that there's an official announcement coming
right.
pretty soon. Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Exactly. So we'll see how that all unfolds. So I think we can move topics here. Before we get
Oh
into
boy.
spring training, our good friend Thomas here says he has a massive hot
Oh
take.
yeah, spicy hot
So
take. Let's
yeah,
hear it.
I guess this is a
Let's
good
hear it.
time for it because we were just talking about the Bears and stuff, and it's hard to say that there's a more starving city out there sports wise than Chicago. We get promised big things, and we're let down every single year. Like, it's how it is. I am here to make the argument that there is one championship that a team in this city could get that would bring the city together in ways that we haven't seen in a very long time. Probably the last time would have been the Cubs, ish. And that team is the Chicago Blackhawks. Hear me out. Bears always have expectations. And there are a lot of people in the city of Chicago that do not root for the Chicago Bears and that are mad and pissed about the Chicago Bears, do not root for the Chicago Bears, have other affiliations, whatever. Cubs and Sox divided. Bulls, there is no way I can't even fathom a Bulls championship at this point. think of the Four Nations tournament and how the entire country that is hockey's not the biggest sport in America. It's popular, but it's not huge.
Not
We
compared
had
to the NFL, baseball, basketball.
exactly. We had so many people that don't watch hockey on a regular basis watching 3 games that were electric. And I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. And this city predominantly Bears focused in the winter, Cubs focused in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
If the Blackhawks were to go on a run, people would distract themselves from the things that are disappointing them year in and year out and latch on to a Chicago Blackhawks run and just get full forced into it. And if they were to win a championship, I don't think that there is another sport at this moment that would have the entire city united together behind this one team like the Blackhawks would. What are your thoughts?
You remember when they won in 2010, 2015, they really did unite the city because
and in 2010, and this is kind of the basis of that too. In 2010, I was living in Atlanta. And and they had just gotten the Thrashers taken away from them, but nobody was watching the Thrashers in Atlanta.
No.
When the Blackhawks went on their run, there were Atlanta's a transplant city, so there are a lot of people from Chicago in Atlanta, which is why I was there because my dad got transferred.
Right.
There were a lot of people breaking out Blackhawks sweaters, Blackhawks gear during that March, April into May when the Stanley Cup playoffs were kicking off in 2010, and people were like, Blackhawks might do this. And bars, restaurants watching every single game, and there was always at least one Blackhawks fan in there watching a game. I'm the Four Nations, it just had me thinking of man, if the Blackhawks figured this out with Bedard and maybe got another superstar to come along with him, this team could turn this city upside down with enthusiasm and excitement, and it would be electric.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's I don't think it's that much of a hypothetical. Only because we experience it, and everything you said was true then, and I think would be true again. So
and I think a Bears Super Bowl would absolutely break this city because it's the most anticipated one of all of them. But I think as far as
volume of people would be bigger.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. But as far as a city coming together behind one team, I think the Blackhawks have the argument of they could do some great things for us if they could figure it the hell out.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that because I remember thinking I've thought about these cup runs a lot, and there are 2 things I want to reflect upon that. Number one is I remember when they went on those runs, when the Cubs went on their run, the Sox fans didn't like it. When the Sox went on their run, the Cubs fans didn't like it. When the Bears were going to the Super Bowl, I remember the group of Packers fans I went to.
And everybody's cynical.
Wearing Colts stuff.
Yeah, and Bears fans are just cynical. We're just it's not going to happen. That's just in our nature.
Right. But when the Blackhawks were doing their thing, it's there was no I'm rooting against them. Everybody was behind it. Even people that never watched hockey before. And I will never forget. I'll just never forget how the whole hysteria was everywhere. You would walk down a street in a suburb or in the city, and every storefront had a Blackhawks flag or poster. You saw the jerseys and you saw shirts everywhere. They were expecting at the first 2010 parade to be 400K, ended up being 2 million freaking people showing up for that parade. I mean, I get what you're saying. I do. Like I said, would the volume of people celebrating the Bears be higher? Yes. Was the volume of people celebrating the Cubs higher? Yes. It was one of the biggest gatherings in human history.
Yeah.
But I think uniting a city, yes, I'm with you.
And I think that when the Cubs won it all, and when the Bears, if the Bears ever do eventually win it all, you're gonna have a lot of people coming from not Chicago to be here for that.
Oh, yes.
Blackhawks, it's that's going to be people in Chicago. I'm here, I'm with this team, So the number won't be as big, but it's it'll be ours. and it'll be cool.
Yeah, no,
So that
I think that's fair. No.
of all the teams, I mean, we talk about the Cubs and the Bears the most, but of all the teams to get good and figure it out, I think the Blackhawks like that. I mean, from 2010 to 2017, there was Blackhawk stuff everywhere, and
They're
now
the hottest ticket in town.
and now like nobody's talking about them.
No.
I
no.
mean, rightfully so, to be honest.
Well, yes.
Well, and that's another thing I've talked about too recently is they're so irrelevant again in just the grand scheme of sports.
And they have Connor Bedard. Like,
Yeah.
people are not watching Connor Bedard, and they're missing out but it's not their fault. It's the Blackhawks' fault. Like, they're not.
The team's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I worry that we're gonna lose Connor at some point if we don't get him something to latch onto, and
This offseason's big.
massive, huge. So yeah, I want this city to be taken over by hockey so badly.
I just want there to be a reason for me to subscribe to CHSN because right now there's zero reason for me to do so.
Well, you can
No, I'm
subscribe.
not doing it. There's
Yeah.
no right.
Well,
yeah.
you can subscribe to Marquee and not watch the Cubs. Huh?
Hey, that's a tax write-off, so easy there.
Let's talk about the
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa,
Undefeated.
we're mad at the Cubs?
No,
What are we
undefeated.
mad at? Wait,
Undefeated.
whoa, what are we
Everything
mad
on
about the Cubs for?
everything on the field is going pretty well. I mean,
Oh,
undefeated in
we're doing
spring.
that.
Shoto Yamanaga gave up a home run today. Otherwise, looked pretty good. Bullpen.
6 Ks.
Yeah, bullpen looks okay. I get that like not everybody's playing everybody that they're going to be playing at the Major League roster right now, but these people are signed by Major League Baseball teams to play baseball, so you're getting some good competition regardless. So yeah, I mean everything, and obviously the Matt Shaw injury is troubling. Owen Casey not out there yet, a little troubling. Yeah, I mean
The Shaw stuff has me worried.
Shaw stuff has me worried. I don't think he's going to Japan. Jordan, I saw your article today. I read it. Thought it was great. About Matt Shaw not going to Japan.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, he's not going to Japan.
No. But we were talking off air too that basically the Japan thing, sure, the games count. That's not opening day. And unless those two games come into play much later in the year, I will not be acknowledging them as opening day, but I will be getting up early to watch them because baseball be baseball. Everything on the field is going basically as planned, right?
Yeah.
Outside of the injuries, yes.
Yeah, outside of the injuries, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it stinks. Obviously, president of the Matt Shaw fan club stinks, but I'd rather him get healthy now than have this lingering on. So it's a rookie year. It's a big deal. So credit power to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I wrote about, and the Cubs are actually kind of lucky in that sense. Is the Japan game is technically opening day, but from like a roster standpoint, it's not really opening day. So the Cubs can very easily just assign Matt Shaw to minor league camp that week, wrap up those games against the Dodgers, bring him back to the major league camp for opening for their second opening day against the Diamondbacks. I think that's what they will do. Not too worried. I mean, I'm worried about it in the sense that I always worry about oblique injuries. I think we've seen those kind of linger for baseball players.
Those are tricky.
But from all, and I hate going by this, but from all the reports, he seems to be progressing pretty well. Honestly, I don't think we would be making a huge deal of it had it not been for the Japan series. But hopefully he gets out there for the series against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and I mean, also obviously we're lingering some worries with Nico too, trying to get him back. So he looks like everything is pointing on the up for him, which is great. But yeah, I mean, we're 2 weeks into actually having live action to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So really, if we're talking about some injuries that might linger, might not, we don't super know yet. Like as long as we're not talking about Tommy Johns and broken limbs, I think we're really okay here.
Yeah, same. Even with like Javier Assad probably starting the season at IL. The Cubs didn't necessarily get that ace this offseason, but they got hella pitching depth to withstand your fifth starter going down. You still have Jordan Wicks, you still have Ben Brown, you have Colin Ray who could easily slide into that fifth spot in the rotation. If there is a time to, really have an injury, now would be that time. So yeah, I mean injuries notwithstanding, it's been a fun spring training. Honestly, I think obviously like the biggest difference from last season to this season will be Kyle Tucker. The Cubs have a true superstar in the middle of their lineup. Outside of that, I think the biggest difference is going to be from top to bottom. Craig Counsell just knows his organization now. Like he's
Yeah,
not,
he's been here a year now.
yeah,
Yeah, it
he's
kind
not
of.
spending the
Yeah, and it kind of
he's not
feels.
spending the season getting to know people, but he knows the organization. He knows kind of who to use one. So
Yeah, and it kind of
looking
feels
forward to
like they're
that.
like, not to say that he had training wheels on him or anything, but it feels like they're like, okay, yeah, this is your team, do go
Yeah.
manage the baseball
Well,
team.
I think
So,
he needed
And-
that evaluation period to even be
Yeah.
able for himself to say, "Hey, I know what I want. I know what I don't want."
yeah,
Yeah,
and
And-
I would love to know any conversations that he had with Jed about limitations to the budget or anything like that, and how he responded to such things. And I would like to know how Jed responded to such things as well, but we will never know.
yeah. I mean, if we want to, it's one of those things again. I don't look through the lens of like, the Cubs have to be spending money. Like, yes, they do. We can't have that same conversation every week. Like, unfortunately, the Cubs aren't going to. Like, Tom Ricketts has made that very clear for the past 6 years that like breaking even is the mindset. It sucks that yes, it's the national attention once again, but it's still business as normal if you're a Cubs fan since 2019. Like anything that's happened this offseason shouldn't dramatically be like a surprise to you or a big revelation. Like that's how the organization has chosen to live. And you just have to be good at those decisions when you're trying to run baseball operations that way.
Yeah,
We'll see
I mean,
from-
it's nothing new, but I don't think it warrants just like letting madness or feelings negatively towards it just go away.
Oh no, yeah, no, still feel negative towards it, but like note that unfortunately it doesn't matter. Like
It's like
Oh,
watching
yeah,
the
I mean-
McCaskies all those
Yeah.
years. It's reserving
Yeah.
like the McCaskies are the McCaskies,
Right.
and it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right. I know what you
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that doesn't appear to ever change.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll still be pissed about it. I was pissed that I couldn't watch the game today.
Yeah,
I don't think it was
don't-
even
I-
televised.
No, nobody had
I
it.
don't
Nobody had it
understand.
televised, but
Yeah,
you got to
no,
figure
I was
something out,
watching,
man. Like Cubs are
Yeah.
playing a baseball game. It's Shota Imanaga's first start in the spring. Like I get it's just a spring training game. I understand that not a lot of people are watching it, but you created a network for this purpose to watch baseball games and to watch Cubs
They
games
were on the
specifically.
road, and I
Now,
do think
yeah.
it depends on the home.
So here's the
teams.
thing. They were on the road, but I have confirmation that there are camera feeds that are in every ballpark that can be used. And teams have, they have to pay to use them.
Mhm.
The Cubs have a network to broadcast Cubs games and chose not to pay for those services for this game.
Let me push back against that because
Please
there's
do,
been-
because that is making me livid if that's
'cause
true.
There's been unfair criticism of the Cubs with how Marquee is choosing to spend their money. Yes, it's the Cubs network. The Cubs aren't the one that deciding how to spend the money. That goes to Sinclair. Sinclair right now is bleeding money, and the
Yeah,
Cubs have
they're
no.
in trouble.
Yeah, and the Cubs have no control over how they choose to distribute those resources.
Yeah.
Same thing with Marquee and Xfinity. That's not a Cubs issue. That's a Major League Baseball issue. So anyone who wants to use the distribution and be like, "Oh, why are the Cubs being cheap? Why are the Cubs doing this?" it's not the Cubs. Like, look across the landscape of Major League Baseball. This is one of the
It's
main
rough.
reasons why there's going to be a work stoppage in 2 seasons.
Yeah,
And the
we
Cubs aren't
gotta
immune to that.
Cubs, MLB, somebody's got to figure it out, because if there's a baseball
Yes.
game happening that has even 2% of purpose and matter, and you have a channel that is dedicated to that one team with that game happening, got to be able to watch it. You got to be able to watch it.
No, yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Unfortunately, I think the distribution, even with spring training, the final say isn't with the Cubs.
That
But
and
it
that's
does
fine,
bring-
but somebody's got to figure that out, because
Oh,
there is
well,
weird.
welcome to one of baseball's biggest issues in 2025.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I know, and I know it's a mess, and I know that it is above all of our heads of how to fix it and comprehend all the moving parts and everything. But in a time where you're making people have all these different subscriptions to watch all these different things, and we can't watch those things, I'm gonna be upset. So figure it out.
oh, no, it's fair to be upset for sure.
Thank you.
I just want to project it towards an entity that literally has very little control in how that distribution.
Oh,
is
I'm
being
mad at all of them.
Yeah,
I'm spreading the wealth
have
in anger.
I do have a hot take though. Maybe not as hot as my Tyson Bagent one, but by the end of the baseball season, I think the White Sox, Cubs, Blackhawks, and Bulls will all once again be on the same network.
Good. And it better be over the air.
I was about to say, that doesn't mean it'll be over the air. So.
It better be, because I'm sick of this.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
figure it
I'll let
out,
them know.
Jordan.
I'll let them know.
Thank you.
that would
like,
be
hey.
ideal.
Hey, I'm gonna write an article tomorrow for Cubby's Kid. Be like,
Thank
hey, you guys need to figure this thing out because yeah.
I'm just if you're gonna have a
no,
just figure
it'd
it
be
out.
nice. It definitely would be nice to go back to the days of just throwing on WGN. At the same time, I'm not in the WGN fetish. Like, yes, it was cool. Yes, it was fun. Yes, it was accessible.
I
It's
don't
2025.
I don't care
Yeah.
what channel it is. I need to be able to access it. That's all I
Want
ask.
like a Nickelodeon Cubs broadcast?
I don't care. I have Nickelodeon.
Prime
Oh, get
MVP.
slimed for every home run. I think it's fun.
Sure. Sure. I don't care. If I can
Have
watch
Patrick
the
call
game,
games.
I don't care. I
That
don't
would be
care.
fun.
I
Yeah.
just want to watch it.
Tommy, do you have Xfinity? Or do you have
No, I have YouTube TV,
How do you watch Cubs games?
Marquee Sports Network app.
So you subscribe to that? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just making sure, because you might be very bad, and if you had Xfinity.
Oh
in
no,
the couple-
Well,
I
have
did hear.
Xfinity, so that might affect me.
Oh, sorry, Alex.
Yeah,
I already
yeah.
knew that
Well,
they're never coming to YouTube TV, so I subscribe.
Yeah.
And
Same.
just
Yeah.
another expense.
Yeah, same.
yeah,
Life.
yeah.
Life of a sports fan in 2025.
Indeed. So there are two things I want to get to. First of all, on the Cubs side, one last Cubs note is that Sammy Sosa has been in camp this week. He's been in the
Yeah.
dugout. He's been in the batting cage. He's been talking to a lot of the young players. We saw him talking to the Jaguar. We saw him talking to Vidal Brujan. We saw him talking to some of those other guys. He was walking with Ian Happ and Dansby Swanson. And, the Jaguar was asking him about, how he did it. And for reference, the Jaguars, Kevin Alcantara, but that we call him the Jaguar. So, he was asking him some questions. And, Sammy was in full uniform for the first time since 2021 in a Cubs dugout. So, little fun nugget there. It's just amazing how a few months ago he was exiled. Now he's part of the dugout in spring training games. It's just, it's insane what a turnaround it was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Tom was just like, how can we make more money? Oh, let's just bring Sammy back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the time, I said bringing Sammy back was an easy press run and an easy way to, like Tommy said, make money. But it is as a nostalgic Cubs fan, it is good to see Sam.
It was awesome. I watched
Mhm.
the interview with Taylor McGregor like 3 times, and seeing him like doing the hitting motion with all those young guys just like staring at him, like it was nice.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I will say, Alex, not to like step on your toes. Your tweet reminded me, your tweet of Justin Torno, giving 2008 Jim Edmonds vibes.
Hmm.
In an article I wrote today, I actually said it's a little bit like John Lackey vibes. Like Justin Torno isn't here for a haircut; he's just here to win. Um, I'm not. I'm not saying Justin Turner's going to get like 450 plate appearances. I think he's just going to be a nice dude to have in the clubhouse.
I think he's going to be
Sure.
very important to have.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just talking from a production standpoint. I would love to have him be like, "Hey, here's this old guy who's
that would
still
be
hitting."
great. That would be
know.
great.
We love
Man, I
old
love
guys that
that.
can hit.
I love Jim Edmonds 2008 season. Oh
That was
Yeah.
real. Like you look at the numbers, it was like, wow, those
It was
are
insane.
good
Yeah.
numbers
2008 felt magical
until
did.
the playoffs.
until it didn't.
And then the Dodgers happened. Yeah.
It was the best regular season the Cubs have had since like the 1930s.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
it was wild.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
quite a time to be alive, but
what
alas.
could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So the last bit of news I had I want to talk about quickly, we'll switch to the south side a little bit. It sounds like part of the stake in the White Sox is being bought by one of the Ishbia brothers who already had a
Yes.
minority stake, but he's increasing his investment into the team. He's also building a mansion out in Winnetka. I would think he's trying to be the next owner of the White Sox when Jerry passes away. And keep in mind that Ishbia was originally eyeing to buy the Twins, and then he pivoted to buying up some stuff in the White Sox. So I think Ishbia is going to be the next owner of the White Sox, and that's going to be, I think they said like the second richest owner in MLB behind Steve Cohen. So listen, if you're the White Sox, you might go from Jerry Reinsdorf to a guy who likes the game and is going to spend as much as he can. I don't know what the scope of baseball is going to look like by that point, but it's not going to be Jerry Reinsdorf cheap. They might pay for a beautiful new stadium themselves, or at least pony up more of the money. If they want to build at the 78 where they were eyeing, then maybe Ishbia is the one with the money. And maybe that's why Jerry pressured or kind of talked to him saying, hey, why don't you kind of be a successor here so we can get this deal in with the 78 someday? So I think that is something to watch. And even though the White Sox are acting like nothing to see here, there's clearly not nothing to see here.
I would love that. I would love it to happen. And I would love to see if the new owner comes in, they get their new stadium and stuff, and then he starts spending on the ball team, starts not caring a little bit, and was like, you know what, it's time. I would love the pressure to get to the north side of Chicago. I'll be like, they're spending money down there. The White Sox are outspending you. What are you going to do about it? And just because
he's not going to care.
I understand he's not going to care, but the uproar might start overflowing here. We're in the situation, like we won in 2016. He's already told us, I already got you a ring, but there's no pressure. There's like,
you have baseball's 2 top reporters clowning you on a weekly basis, and he doesn't care. Like there's no this is the thing that I just,
if the White Sox start outspending the Cubs, it's going to be a massive problem.
I'm not saying it won't be a problem. I'm not saying it won't be a story. I'm just saying it's not going to change anything. Like, I guess the one thing,
if nothing changes at that point, then we got to start talking about how to. Like,
I mean, why would it change?
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you your hope that it does. Like, what substantial proof is there that it would change Tom Ricketts?
There's zero proof. There's zero proof.
Yeah, like it won't.
It would just have more people mad.
It would have more people mad for sure. Raise pitchforks. Yo, go on Twitter, tweet about it. It won't change. I guess I'm just in the minority of like, I don't see the energy in getting mad all over again at something I know that's not going to change. Like at the end of
Okay.
the day, that's not healthy.
That's where I am with the Chicago Bears.
Being a Chicago sports fan is not healthy.
Right. Like
I get it. But
but
it's just like as many games as I go to, and as much as they consume my brain, they're all over my wall. It's like
and what did you do? And what did you do this offseason?
bitched and moaned that he didn't spend any money.
But what did you do with your season tickets?
Renewed because I'm an idiot, and he knows I'm an idiot, and he
Tom
knows
Ricketts
he
feeds on your
knows
brain. He's
he-
like a,
Right.
he
a
knows
parasite. He's more like a parasite.
he knows that I'm getting 2 less games, but he knows that you're getting 2 less games, but I'm going to charge you more money, and you're still going to do it. And I did. He's right. I
And that's why
understand.
he's not gonna care.
I understand. I know he's not going to care.
Taking the Cubs out of the picture, Ishbia buying or becoming the majority owner of the Sox would be great. It was funny because when he was in talks to buy the Twins, and then it broke, they're like, hey, he's actually like a minority owner of the Sox. I was like, wait, you mean the guy who isn't afraid to bring in talent with the Phoenix Suns is a minority owner of the Sox, and yet he's going to buy the Twins? Like, never made sense to me. So hopefully this does lead to a path where he does become the majority owner once Ryan Turf is no longer in place. And I think that would be great for the White Sox. Baseball in Chicago is great when both teams are good. The Cubs will, the Cubs will stay good. They won't ever move to that great category because
Mediocre.
of Tom Ricketts.
They'll stay mediocre.
Uh,
Not good. Not
no,
great.
I'll put them.
Mediocre.
No, I would put them in the good range because you could have the spending habits and be good. They'll never be great because of Tommy's best friend, but they'll be good. And if the White Sox are good, that'd be good. We could have a summer of
The prices of these players are just going to go up. There's up
oh yeah,
and up
no,
and
yeah,
up.
those and I got like they have been. There've been premium free agents that the Cubs needed to sign and willingly chose not to. The fact that the Cubs didn't even make a call on Juan Soto is all you need to know. Like, I guess I'm just not going to sit here and be like, oh, Ishii is going to buy the White Sox and he'll spend billions of money on the roster and that will get Tom to change. No.
I never said that it would
Like,
get him to change. I just said I would love it to happen just to see the pressure.
I would love it to happen just to have a good baseball team in Chicago do what they're supposed to do. Because that's how baseball is. Like, you should be spending money to try. We know Tom has his limits, and there's no point in getting upset about it. Like, I guess I just don't have the energy to get too worked up over something I know that's not changing.
I've tried to take a step back, and I've tried to just be like, you know what? I don't want to know things. I just want to go to a ball game and be a fan. I try. I'm trying.
We're all past. Yeah, we're all past that. With us,
And I just
with
can't.
writing might not be like our primary jobs, but because of the writing that we do, unfortunately, like that pure innocent fan side of us is likely completely lost.
I'm trying to find it back. I want it back so bad.
I hope you do. I genuinely hope you do.
Oh, it'd be a lot happier if somebody would work with me here.
Sorry.
Not you guys, just in general,
Oh,
a team. If a team would make it easy to love them, it'd be great.
Hey,
That would be
let me
great.
ask you this: what if Tom called you and asked for your soul?
He already has it. Look at this room.
I was gonna
Look
say,
at my wallet. He has it.
Yeah,
he has it in a jar sitting on his desk.
I know what you were
Alex.
going for, but he owns me. Everything I do in this, everything, 12 months, 365 days, it revolves around Chicago Cubs baseball. Ask my wife.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson made his return to Friday Night SmackDown.
I'm. s-
And he asked for Cody
I got
Rhodes'
nothing.
soul. Alex?
I got nothing. Alex, this is a one time. I'm like you. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Alex, we had such high hopes for wrestling and to get you in and like watching it with us. I turned the TV off at 8:30 on Monday because I was like, this is awful. And I went to
didn't
bed.
even watch it.
Mm,
I didn't even watch it.
I was
watched,
like, I'm so sad. WrestleMania is Elimination Chamber this Saturday or next Saturday? Is it this Saturday?
Yeah. I'm not even making that priority to be honest.
I'm gonna
Like,
try.
I'll
I
watch it.
want it. I'm gonna try.
Like, Elimination Chamber is my only like sliver of hope that they can get it back on track. But like,
If they don't get this right,
they got-
WrestleMania might suck. And
they
it's
got so much work
two
to do.
nights now. I hate that WrestleMania is 2 nights now.
Yeah, they have so much work to do, and they.
doing a great job convincing me, guys.
There's
Great
nothing.
job.
No,
Look,
there's nothing.
What,
there's
what do
nothing
you want
right
us to
now.
lie to you?
Yeah, there's Alex. I wouldn't even. Yeah, there's nothing right now. The Rock came back. He was like the People's Champ Rock for a little bit. He was the final boss for a little bit. He asked for Cody Rhodes' soul. I have no idea where that story.
You can't tell. Like you can't tell if he's being nice to the crowd or if he hates them. Like,
right. So like
are
in
you a
one second he
heel
was in
or are you a
character.
baby face?
Yeah, 1 second he was in character, 1 second he wasn't. John Cena's retirement tour hasn't even been a retirement tour. He came back for Royal Rumble. We
I've
haven't
seen him
since.
twice. I've seen him twice.
Right. So much for a 4-year run of John Cena. I don't know, Alex. I'll ask us next week after Elimination Chamber. Hopefully, we have some.
Sure.
nice way
Okay.
for-
Well, you
I'll
don't
make a
have
note.
you don't have to ask. We'll tell you.
Yeah, we'll tell you. I mean, we'll probably tell you on Saturday. Like, if I'm being honest, I'm saying I'm not watching live, but like, I'll probably watch it.
I have 2 not wrestling things to talk about before we get out of here.
Oh, heck yeah!
Number 1, NASCAR. Going to
Yes.
Circuit of the Americas this weekend. Different track.
Ooh.
Different track. What do you call it? Different track. Something. There's a word that I'm looking for. Anyways, configuration. Thank you. New track configuration. They're cutting off about a mile of the road course and making it harder. Right, like more turns, less straightaway. It's gonna get dicey. They're gonna have to do some pushing and shoving. It could get very interesting. So that's this weekend. And then
I'm down.
I don't know if we've ever talked golf before. You guys golf fans at all? You watching the golfs? No? Yes?
I've been on the.
Not much.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have it on in the background. But
I
never pay
don't
attention
know
to
if you've ever
Yeah.
have you
same.
guys ever watched the Full Swing documentary
it. I
on
was about to say,
Netflix?
I do watch. Yeah, I do watch Full Swing. on
Okay.
Netflix. Yeah.
Alex, if you have not watched it, like you have some interest in golf, but like not a lot of interest. This documentary
I've been
is-
meaning to watch it.
start from the
Yeah.
beginning
Yeah.
because this is the 3rd season, so it'll go back to like the first season. I think is when the whole PGA versus Live thing was
Yeah.
like 1st introduced to us.
Yeah.
Definitely
yeah,
go
yeah.
back and watch it. But they just released this year's season of it, and I've watched the first 2 episodes. And I mean, like, it's so awesome
Yeah. no,
to see.
it's-
Like,
it's
you
well
get
done.
you really get in the weeds and like behind the scenes of these golfers, like not on the golf course, like kind of in their lives. And you see how mental the game is, and it's just insane. It's so well done.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching season 3 now, and I super like it, and I think you guys would also enjoy it. But if you haven't watched it, start at the beginning. They're hour-long episodes, and like you can just do it one at a time if you want to, or
Yeah.
you can binge
Yeah.
them all. Like it's very
Sure.
very good. I very much
Yeah.
recommend
No.
it.
Yeah. Full Swing
I
is
am
very good.
interested in that, checking it out. So when I get the chance, I
Yeah.
probably will.
Yes.
Nice. Well, guys, we had a great show tonight. I think that's going to do it for Through the Garden. So one last matter of business. We got to name the episode. And I believe since I was the host tonight, I have to name the episode. So, boy, I would say let's call it Ricketts Owns Tommy.
Jesus.
That was good.
Let's not forget who edits this. I
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Edit it? Actually,
the same thing I'm going to do about Tom Ricketts. Nothing. I'm just going to keep paying the man.
We are going to. Our goal for the baseball season is not to do it like intentionally, but like subtly bring on a new Tommy rant on Tom Ricketts. I think
I've waited.
that could be on there.
I waited my entire life to have Cubs season tickets, and I got them. And I'm stuck. I'm just stuck.
You can't
Tommy
even
on
stick it to the
Tom
man
violence.
because you're paying the man. You can't stick it to the
Well,
man
it
because you're
stinks
paying
because
the
I
man.
can barely like. I want 100% of my energy to be on loving this team and loving
And
being
two less
and going to
games.
the game.
But you can't. 2 less games you're going to.
Yeah. I could sell all my tickets for a profit, probably.
Why do you think I'm
You wouldn't
naming this
break even?
episode that?
Well, yeah, I could break even. Would you rather me break even or break my neck? Tom Ricketts, credit to Tom Ricketts. Like some of the anger and aggression that he's given me is working out great in the gym. Just
There you
pumping
go.
iron,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Score,
just hitting
you're
you-
a
Next time you guys see
I'm
Jordan,
gonna
I don't
punch
know.
the bag.
Jordan, I don't know if I've ever seen you in person.
Yeah.
Alex and I have encountered each other a couple times.
Yep.
But the next time you guys see me, swole, super swole.
Let's get it. Yeah. I could just see like Tommy pumping out his PRs, just thinking how much he hates Tom.
At this point, I'm just trying to get my body moving again, because
That's fair.
it doesn't know how to do anything.
That's fair.
All right,
that's
fine.
fair, that's
Yeah,
fair.
he owns me. What?
Yeah. It's the truth. It is the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we speak the truth on this show. So that's going to be your show, folks. Thanks again for listening. Be sure to check us out on all of our platforms. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, share on social media. That's how we grow the show. Until next time, he's Jordan, he's Tommy, I'm Alex. Keep it classy. Have a good night.
Godspeed.
Adios.